I'm joined here today by members of the Lamb family, also members from our command staff, our Harris County Sheriff's Office homicide investigative team, and we're here to bring some important information. Good morning, and thank you all for braving this weather to make it here today. Although we know that the road conditions are treacherous, we are going forward with this press conference because it is urgent that our community work together to solve this horrific and brazen crime. I want to thank members of the Lamb family for joining us at this difficult time. You will be hearing from them in a moment. On the evening of Saturday, January 13th, Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies were called to the home of Val and Jenny Lamb, located at 16510 Glorietta Turn in the Northgate Forest subdivision in Spring. The Lamb's son had called to report that he was outside the home seeking to make contact with his parents because no one had heard from them since last Thursday. When our deputies arrived, the Lamb's son broke a window so that we could enter. Once inside, our deputies discovered the bodies of Val and Jenny Lamb. Their home had been ransacked, and Mr. and Mrs. Lamb had been bound and killed. They were executed. Since then, our homicide investigators have been canvassing the neighborhood and nearby businesses to review security footage. Today, we are here to release footage that depicts two persons of interest. We are here today to release this security footage because we believe it's highly likely that there are people out there in our community with information that can help us capture the Lamb's killers. The individuals on this video should be recognizable to those who know them, and I'm making a personal plea for anyone with information to do the right thing and come forward. This was a brazen, horrific crime against two small business owners who were dearly loved by their family. The Harris County Sheriff's Office will continue to push forward on this investigation, pursuing all leads until those responsible are brought to justice. I want to thank Crime Stoppers for offering a $5,000 reward in this case, and I'm calling on all our business community to come forward with additional resources so that eventually we can increase the reward if necessary on this terrible double murder. I want to just make it clear that these type of individuals, these type of scumbags, we need to get off the streets. They brutally executed two individuals. They were the epitome of the American dream. They immigrated to this country. They were originally from Taiwan and from Laos. They came here with almost nothing. Were able to build successful businesses, raise two wonderful, a son and daughter, and were very successful. They're both college educated. And so we simply cannot tolerate this, and we have to say no when something like this happens in the community, when you see something so horrific and the brutal nature of this murder. Again, they were executed. And so it's important that we come together as a community and simply say that this will not be tolerated. So we're going to make sure we leave no stone unturned in this investigation. We're putting all our resources to make sure that we solve this as quickly as possible, but we definitely need the community's help on this. And now I'd like to ask the Lamb's family members to step forward. First we'll hear from Richard, their son, with some information on his family. Oh, correction, we're first going to hear from Michelle, their daughter.
We're just begging the public to please help us in finding the murderers who brutally just broke in and murdered and robbed our parents. They took them from us way too soon. My parents will never get to see their grandchildren or spending more time with us. We miss them so much, and it hurts just thinking about. It hurts so much just thinking that this could happen to other families. I mean, they were just going home from having dinner, and then they were, I'm going to let my brother take over.
My parents were my superheroes, personal superheroes. They're truly amazing people that gave their time and money to the community. My dad, if anybody asked him for help, he would not hesitate to give him a hand. My mother, she would offer sage advice for every chapter of our life. She would always have something for us to make us feel better, to pick us up when we're down. We came over in the 70s, just like the sheriff said. Came over in the 70s to study, and life got in the way, got pregnant, and wasn't able to finish school. So they worked 2 or 3 different jobs at the same time, while making sure that we were provided for. They eventually saved up enough money to open up a business. They worked hard at the Marble Slab. They opened up a couple of franchises over there, and eventually got into the Subway franchises, with them really working hard and making sure that they were there for us every step of the way, at every game, every recital, every symphony that we were playing our instruments. They just made sure that we had every opportunity to realize our dreams. And they told us, we were working so hard for you, we sacrificed so much for you two, so that you don't have to work hard like us. My sister became a dentist. I became a military officer in the United States Air Force and Army Reserves. My dad's dream was always to be in the military services, but since he wasn't a citizen at the time, they denied him entry into the military. And so since the time I was a little boy growing up, he's always been, telling me how great America is, and how great, the soldiers of the United States are, and how much he wished that, I could be like them one day. And eventually, whenever I did commission, he told me he was extremely proud of me, and that his dreams finally came true. And when my sister became a dentist, became a doctor, we realized their dreams, their American dreams. However, 2 men broke into their homes last week. They killed them in cold blood. My father and mother would have given them anything. They knew how precious life was. They knew how precious time was. And they didn't even give them the chance to give them what they wanted. We just need your help. If you know any information, if you have any information, if you have some surveillance, if you know people who know something, please just call it in. We need your help in this. Please, we need justice.
Thank you, Richard. The next speakers will be the homicide investigators, Bell and Craig.
I'm Sergeant Ben Bell with the Harris County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. I am the squad supervisor for the unit that is investigating this murder. Just to kind of give you all the time frame on this, while the crime was discovered on Saturday, January the 13th at about 7 p.m., we have had the opportunity to view the surveillance video from the entry gate into the subdivision. What is being looped and what shows there is that we have 2 suspects that arrived on Thursday night, January the 11th, at approximately 8:20 p.m. They are driving what we believe to be a 2007 to 2014 black Lincoln Navigator. They parked the vehicle in the turnaround by the gate, and we had 2 males exit the vehicle. The passenger is unusually tall. The height of the Navigator seems to indicate that he may be in the area of about 6'4" or taller. He is wearing a Letterman's jacket with CC, which we believe may be from the Cy-Fair Independent School District, and he was wearing pants that are 2-toned. One pants leg is dark, the other one is light complected, or light colored. It is the video swaps over from color to infrared, and then also kind of a grayscale because of the weather conditions outside that night. The driver of the vehicle, we can't tell from the video. It appears that he may be Hispanic or black, and of normal height and weight. Both of these individuals, like I said, they arrived at about 8:20 p.m. on Thursday night. They crawled under the gate and entered the subdivision. The Lamb family returned home to their residence at about 8:40 p.m. and from evidence at the scene, it appears that they were ambushed as they were exiting their car in their garage and forced into their residence. We're continuing to view the video. We have several clips that we are releasing, but it appears that the suspects left in the Mr. Lamb's Porsche four-door vehicle about 11:55 p.m. on Wednesday night. They returned a couple hours later and then went back into the house, and then about 6:50 they left again, took the Lincoln Navigator with them. And we believe over the course of the 2 days they probably returned and went back into the house several times. So again, we're releasing the video. We're asking that anyone that has any information that believes that they recognize these individuals, know anything about the Lincoln Navigator, to please contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit at 713-274-9100, or they can call Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. Does anybody have any questions?
Let's wrap up with them.
Okay.
So again, very brazen, at least 2 suspects. We believe there could also be a chance of maybe more. There could be up to 4 suspects on this. We're still viewing some of the images. But appear to have returned to the home multiple times to continue this criminal act, this criminal activity. So very brazen to not only execute them, but to continue to return back multiple times to steal goods. We also know that several weapons were taken from the home as well. So these individuals should be considered dangerous. So we need to get them off the streets ASAP to make sure that they do not bring harm on anyone else. We need to make sure that this is not tolerated in Harris County. We're going to do everything in our power to find them, but we need the public's help. We need the public's help to help clear this case. At this point, I'd like to invite State Representative Gene Wu, who's here with us, to also make a personal plea.
Thank you so much. My name is Gene Wu. I'm the state rep for Southwest Houston. And on behalf of our community, behalf of the Asian community in Houston, we send our deepest condolences to the family. This is a tragedy. This is a heinous crime. And I think as Houstonians, we will not stand for it. And I would ask the community, the Asian community, if you knew the family, if you knew anything about them, if you interacted with them, if you have any tidbit of information, please do not remain silent. If you know anything that could possibly help, even if it's really small, please call the 1-800 number. Please call the Crime Stoppers. Give us what you know, and let us piece it together, or let the Sheriff's Office piece it together. And we really want to thank Sheriff Garcia. I really want to thank Sheriff Gonzalez and his command staff and the detectives who are working in this case for doing such extraordinary work in such a short amount of time. We really thank them for their efforts, and we look forward to more details as it come forward. Thank you.
And as I told the family earlier, on behalf of Harris County and on behalf of the Harris County Sheriff's Office, we offer our deepest condolences to them. We know that nothing we can say or do is ever going to bring back their parents, but what we can do is make sure that we bring closure and that we bring these murderers, these scumbags to justice, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we accomplish that. But again, we need the public's help in that regard. So at this point, I'll open it up to any questions. Let me briefly just give a recap in Spanish. Estamos aquí porque tuvimos un incidente el sábado que estuvimos investigando. El sábado descubrimos que los señores Lamb, la familia Lamb, una pareja, los encontraron muertos en su casa en el 16.510 de la Glorieta Turn, que está en el área de Spring, en una comunidad que se llama Northgate Forest. Parece ser que unos individuales llegaron a la casa, los esperaron a que llegaran y abrir el garaje, los atacaron, robaron la casa, muchas cosas de la casa, parece que robaron armas también. Entonces hoy vamos a dar una descripción de los individuales que quedaron aquí en una Lincoln Navigator que vimos aquí, que parece ser entre 2007 a 2014, negra en color, y salen 2 individuos. Uno parece ser más alto, como 6'4", en estatura, el otro es de tamaño más regular. pero queremos la ayuda del público, por favor, que puedan llamar, pueden mantenerse anónima, pueden llamar al 713-222-TIPS, que es Crime Stoppers, a dar información, porque este tipo de individuales que asesinaron a esta pareja, que vinieron a este país del extranjero, es muy importante que podamos resolver este crimen. Ellos criaron a 2 hijos que ahora tienen éxito, fueron al colegio y todo, y ellos encontraron el sueño americano, vinieron aquí, trabajaron mucho, abrieron sus negocios. Para perder la vida de esta manera no lo podemos aceptar, entonces vamos a hacer todo lo posible para resolver este crimen.
Ahora, ustedes los llaman personas de interés. ¿Creen que son mucho más que personas de interés?
Pues decimos eso porque queremos, primeramente, no sabemos exactamente qué hicieron ellos o si habían alguien más ahí, solamente estamos viendo lo que vemos en este video. Entonces les decimos personas sospechosas, personas de interés, viene siendo casi lo mismo. Lo importante es que los queremos identificar. And I think as we open it up to questions, again, very clear descriptors, very tall individual that we're looking at there. Letterman's jacket, we believe, is from the Cy-Fair School District. 2 different shades of pants, colors on the pants. And as you look at it, I think it's very important to report as well that he walks with an interesting gait, some kind of a gait. And so, I mean, that picture right there is pretty noticeable there. So we feel that somebody out there knows who this individual is. So your call could be the one that helps us clear this case. Any questions?
Do we have any better idea why they were targeted or what stuff was missing?
I know some guns were missing, multiple guns were missing as far as them being targeted. Any?
Yeah, we have several guns that were in a glass gun case that are clearly missing. They're rifles. There is jewelry that is missing from the house, and we have other valuable items. We're still in the process. The family is having to go through and try to inventory what all is missing from the house. They appear to have been targeted because they are business owners, so robbery does appear to be the reason that they were targeted.
I've had a few people mention a kind of vaguely similar case in Cyprus a few years ago. Are you guys looking at any connection there? Or?
No, that case there was not robbery related to my knowledge. This is going to be a unique case for the area up there.
Any indication if they would have known the
family? The family was clearly targeted, and it may be due to their business relations, but it is not any indication that they had personal knowledge of the family.
You mentioned that they came back several times, and initially they crawled under the gate. How did they get back in and out afterwards?
There's a couple of times on the video that we've seen so far that they were able to crawl under the gate. They also had taken the 4-door Porsche shortly, within a couple hours of their first contact with the family, and so there was a way to access the gate through that vehicle.
And I think it's pretty unique that these crooks would come back to the house multiple times. That's pretty brazen. Usually they'll commit a murder like that and just flee. They keep coming back for more and more. And so we know there's at least these 2 suspects, persons of interest, but possibly more because some of the other footage that we have, it's not very clear at times if it's the same individuals or we're looking for another 2. So it could be as many as 4 suspects. So somebody out there, again, knows who these individuals are. And we're looking for that Lincoln Navigator or information on it, as well as these individuals, particularly the passenger that was approximately 6'4" with that gait and that Letterman's jacket.
¿Qué tipo de personas son estos individuos que puedan cometer un crimen como este?
Sí, pues parece que no tienen escrúpulos. No solamente asesinaron a esta pareja, pero siguieron viniendo varias veces a la casa a seguir robando. Robaron armas, joyas y otras cosas y los mataron de una manera en sangre fría. Entonces no tienen escrúpulos y los tenemos que buscar. Porque el resto de la comunidad, pues no podemos permitir que esas personas estén libres. Okay. Thank you all very much for being here.